journalists that they killed were actually working for Western organizations.
Yeah.
That's why Israel, instead of saying, oh, they were Hamas operatives or whatever, they've come out and said, oh, no, this was a mistake.
Yeah. So cute, my little Hasanito. This is, double striking is a practice that's like obviously illegal, where you bomb an area, and then when the emergency teams come in to save people from the rubble, you bomb the emergency teams. This is something that Israel does with
Did it in Lebanon
Yeah.
just like a few months ago.
They do it with regular frequency. And the craziest part about this is that this was Nasser Hospital.
Yeah.
And Israel double strike the Nasser Hospital while the Al Jazeera team there was broadcasting in real time.
So the Al Jazeera team was broadcasting, but the journalists that they killed were actually working for Western organizations.
Yeah.
That's why Israel, instead of saying, oh, they were Hamas operatives or whatever, they've come out and said, oh, no, this was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because they were working for Western
outlets.
Outlets, yeah.
Yeah.
After 10 a.m. Gaza time, this is the Reuters news agency live shot, filmed from high up on Khan Yunis's Nasser hospital. Suddenly the image freezes, the sound drops. And this is why an Israeli strike on the building, witnesses say by a suicide drone, has killed the Reuters cameraman Hussam al-Masri. Chaos as the injured are brought inside the hospital, which has once again been targeted.
They killed 20 people.
Outside, more journalists and emergency workers are scrambling up the stairs to the site of the blast, just below the roof. One man lifts up the equipment al-Masri was using. Journalist, he shouts.
The same equipment I use, like that right there. It's just like these guys are just professional news broadcasters that are experiencing a genocide, trying to survive through it, and also to show the devastating realities of their everyday existence. And then Israel punishes them for that crime. Israel treats journalism like a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a suicide drone on a group of very clearly marked media members for the 200th time. Just a mistake. Killed civilians for the hundreds of thousands of times. Oops, just a mistake. It's
like
just,
when they killed the World Central Kitchen workers, mistake. When they killed the paramedics, mistake. When they bombed the UN safe house and killed international, mistake.
Yeah.
You know, when they kill those children waiting in line, mistake. And look, they're going to investigate themselves. And the investigation is going to go nowhere, and everyone's going to forget about it in the news cycle.
Yeah, because they're going to move on to the next
atrocity.
Mass slaughter.
Yeah, the next atrocity.
Yeah, and of course, the mistake part is also on the Western front.
Yeah,
because like those of us who are familiar with the way that Israel does Hasbara know that in the Western world, when they're doing English language communication, it's very different attitude. When it's in Hebrew media, with the exception of like maybe Haaretz.
Oh no, they're loving this.
Yeah, they will openly be like, no, we just eliminated terrorists.
Yeah,
they were terrorists and we eliminated them.
Well, that's what they said about this one.
Yeah,
there was a channel, I think the Hebrew Israeli channel 14, and the guy was saying, why are we apologizing for this? Let's just deny it. Let's just say they were Hamas operatives.
Yeah.
Why are we apologizing? We should never apologize.
Yeah, here's Yuval Abraham from Plus 972 magazine. Netanyahu just said the attack on journalists at Nasser Hospital was the result of a tragic mishap. A copy paste of what he said when 45 Palestinians were burned alive in a Rafah camp housing refugees. It's just over and over again.
And then he says, we don't target journalists. And it's just like, you've killed more journalists than any
other conflict in history. Like, it's like it combined post-World War II, number of journalists killed in active conflicts is a lower number than what Israel has done in the last 2 years of its ethnic cleansing campaign. In English, Israel calls double tapping a hospital a mistake. In Hebrew, Israel brags about bombing Nasser Hospital twice and murdering 4 journalists.
That's what
calling
I said.
them all terrorists. Exactly.
That's what I said. Yeah, they just double speak all the time. And the fact that Western media outlets cannot report this and just say to an Israeli spokesman, "Well, you're saying this, but your channel in Israel is saying this.
Yeah.
What's true here?"
Can you imagine they did this for Russia? Like, can you imagine if like when Russia bombs a fucking kindergarten or something in Ukraine, if they were like, oh well, we need to have Lavrov on immediately to contextualize why they had to bomb this kindergarten or something, and then just take for granted what the Russian government, what the Russian state's assessment is of the events, and they're just like, and they report it as though this was a valid military target.
Wow.
Well, Israel says this. Well, Russia says this. It's like, that double standard is so glaringly obvious.
Do you know as well, like, because I worked at NASA Hospital, the NASA Hospital emergency department, you see 2,000 patients a day there.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Yeah. Well, look, NASA Hospital, for people who don't know, 2,000 patients come in through those doors a day. Now, to put that into context, the busiest hospital in Australia would see 400 to 500 patients a day, and that'd be 400 to 500 patients, and they'd be fully staffed. At NASA Hospital, you've got a few doctors seeing 2,000 patients with some of the most severe injuries and no equipment. And, you know, they keep even when I was there, they were already reconstructing parts of NASA Hospital that had been bombed, and now they just keep bombing it. And this is the largest hospital in the south. It's actually now in Gaza, the main hospital in Gaza, because they destroyed Al-Shifa.
Yeah.
This hospital, and they are systematically, because they bombed it a few weeks ago, they've bombed it again this time, they've taken out the surgical units. They are systemically taking down NASA Hospital, and that is pretty much the last piece of hope. You know, it's got the biggest and largest neonatal intensive care, the pediatric intensive care unit. You know, once that goes away, what's going to be left? Especially when they go into Gaza City and they destroy Rantisi Hospital, which is the specialist children's hospital. Then NASA Hospital, which is the other major children's hospital or area of children, that's going to be destroyed as well.
Oh, you have an ABC documentary. I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Mo started filming in a war zone and now has the ear of world leaders.
Yeah. This was nuts.
Yeah, that's well, we'll take a look at it after, but I just want to cover this new new and unfortunately all too common situation.
Shot by another Reuters cameraman, injured when the second strike comes in. This time a tank shell. The same moment at the hospital's main entrance. This man injured in the leg, scrambling to safety. And again from outside via the live broadcast of Al Ghad television.
Guys, stop asking me to offer my guest a drink. I already did, okay? Obviously. Do you want a drink? They're so fucking annoying. If you want water, there's water.
No, listen. I know he's not offering me a drink, guys, but what I'm going to offer him is...
Oh, God, here we go.
I'm going to offer him this Australian delicacy, Tim Tams. You've had these before, surely?
I have had Tim Tams. I've been to Australia before.
So these are the most delicious biscuits. Look, I've got all the different flavors.
I've even done a Tim Tam slam before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm glad that you just didn't bring Vegemite.
Look, I got you two of the originals, you know what I mean? Because they're the faves. And I got you the caramel ones.
Thank you so much. There it is.
So even though he's not offering me a drink, at least I'm offering him something, you know what I mean?
Now they're going to cook me. Do you want a drink?
Do you know what's crazy as well is like like in America, like you have these like crazy flavors of drinks that we just don't have anywhere else in the world. So I'm always fascinated when I go into a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, we have a Dr. Pepper, 0 sugar. I got different kinds of Mountain Dew. I got Sunkist. Whatever you want. If you want something, I can get you.
No, it's all right. I'll go help myself soon enough.
Wait, that's crazy. No, don't do that. They're gonna cook me. Oh my God.
It's okay, Hasan.
Oh my
It's
God.
okay. It's okay, man. I know you're running a tight ship here.
I told them. I was like, don't you dare
cutting corners and expenses.
I was like,
here.
you're a big boy. Don't you dare look at my fridge.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we got all the different chemicals.
Hasan said he'd take me out for dinner tonight anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, I am gonna eat eventually. If you want some, I mean, I mostly just eat Mediterranean chicken.
I've got some money in my pocket, so I'll spot you some. Don't worry, bro. I'll pay for my half. I'll pay for my half.
That's crazy. That's crazy. My family's gonna kill me. This is the
no, man. I'll pay for my half. Don't worry, man. Because you know what Arabs are like. I'm gonna insist on paying anyway, so don't worry, Hasan, man. You won't even be.
I'm gonna get you the food.
Don't worry, man. You won't pay. Don't worry, man. I got you, bro. Don't worry, man.
All right, let's now that we had like a little pause, let's get back to the horrifying.
Now that we laughed, let's go watch the genocide again.
Yeah.
Emergency crews clearly visible. Then obscured by smoke and debris in the aftermath. 4 journalists and at least 1 emergency worker were killed in this second strike. Both targeted a part of the building often used by media, who frequently base themselves at Gaza's hospitals for the stories and for the relative, if at these moments, spurious sense of safety they can offer.
All of the journalists who report from that corner of the hospital work for international media outlets, which means the Israeli army has complete knowledge of who is there and when, yet they still decided to strike.
Among the journalists killed were the Reuters cameraman Hussam al-Masri, Mohammed Salama, who worked for Al Jazeera and Middle East Eye, Ahmed Abu Aziz, who also worked for Middle East Eye, and Mariam Daka, a freelancer who worked mainly for the Associated Press. 33-year-old Daka was a single mother of a young boy who'd been working recently on child malnutrition and had provided images for this program. Her cousin says she told Mariam not to climb the stairs.
She had a son, Gaith. He's in the UAE with his family. She sent him as soon as the war started. She was waiting for it to end so she could see him again.
Moaz Abu Taha, the fifth journalist killed, remembered today by the hospital's head of pediatrics.
When I heard about Muad, I cried like a child about him. Muaz is a friend. He's innocent. He never talk about politics. He never talk about something. He's just document the starvation and malnutrition.
The Israeli military said it would investigate the circumstances, but blamed Hamas for hiding among civilians.
Yeah. And then when I say they're fucking Nazis and have a supremacist Nazi state doing a live stream Holocaust, that becomes the problem. Not this, okay? Not these actions. You can only arrive at that conclusion if you just do not think that these people that you are watching get slaughtered are human beings. And a big part of that is the social conditioning that we talked about. Like the justifications for war on terror required endless amounts of propaganda to say like Arabs are barbaric and scary and monsters, and the only way that you saw Arabs were either like terrorists or you saw them as like collateral damage. Like that was the only reflection, an afterthought. And in spite of all of that, many people are seeing this reality now, at least. I've said from the start, like post October 7, if Western news actually reported on what Israel was doing in the same way that they do with like Russia's actions in Ukraine, for example, or just like with decency, with a little bit of truth, even the type of the type of coverage that they offer now, because the permission structure is expanded, right? You would have you'd have grandmothers fucking taking it to the streets from the start. This would have been an unstoppable force, an unstoppable anti-war, anti-genocide force a couple months in. And that's precisely the reason why they didn't do it. And that's precisely the reason why they still, like in the BBC broadcast, go, well, what did Israel say? Why did they strike these journalists? Did they deserve it? Like they ask questions like that. Oh, also, yeah, I would turn your phone around because people can see it from this angle. Yeah, it's just, it's
look, man, I'm just, it's hard for me to watch that, man, without breaking down, man. It's just, because we were there when they burnt the journalists alive in their tent. I was at the hospital when that happened.
Yeah.
And
Eslaiya or no, that was before.
Yeah, Al-Aqsa Hospital.
Oh, okay.
And you just, because look, even Anas, for example, right?
Yeah.
Anas came to the Baptist Hospital to report there, and I remember people telling me, Mo, do not do an interview with Anas, and do not get a picture taken with Anas, because if you do, the Israelis will ban you ever from coming back to Gaza. Like he's on their hit list, so if anyone does anything with him, or they see any of the doctors going and talking to him, or doing any media with him, they'll ban you. So, I didn't take a photo with and obviously because at the time I was filming so much while I was in Gaza, that a lot of people were worried for my safety while I was in Gaza, because like I was going viral and I was reporting stuff, and I left my phone in Gaza. I didn't take it out with me because I thought, I'm going to get stopped at the border here and they're going to harass me and whatnot. But I remember just thinking to myself, like, now that I'm banned from going back to Gaza anyway, because I've spoken so much about what's happened in Gaza, I wish I did that interview with him. I wish I took that photo with him. And I wish, we talked obviously behind the camera, and he asked me about what happened that night, because he saw some of the videos. And I remember just asking these journalists, like, are you not scared? And they would always reply the same thing to me, which was, we're already dead. We're already dead. He had his own obituary ready. He had his own message for his death. So, these people, like their mentality is totally different. They've accepted death. That's how people in Gaza are able to live, right? They're able to live because they already have accepted death as a reality. And that is the reality of everyone in Gaza. And that's what I want people to understand, that like, even if the war was to stop today, the genocide was to stop today, right? Yeah. The trauma, how traumatized this group of individuals is. And I think a lot of countries also know behind the scenes that if, they were to ethnically cleanse Gaza, the people that are going to be leaving Gaza are all traumatized people that are going to need care and assistance for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And countries do not want to take that on. That's why they're trying to send them to South Sudan or Libya, to failed states where, there's going to be none of this care at all. And these malnutrition children are not going to have, their healthcare checkups because now they're going to have, metabolic syndromes for the rest of their life, and they're never going to recover from what's happened. It's literally the level of famine that has been reached is now going to it's going to actually physically change the DNA of these children.
Yeah.
This is how traumatized everyone is in Gaza. And like, when I watch images like that and the videos like that, like I was there at those emergency departments when they would run in and they would bring these people into the emergency department, and literally their arm would fall off or their leg would be severed. They would bleed out onto the floor, and you would see them gargling and choking on their own blood. And it would be dozens of them on the floor, and there's no triage. So you would just pick and choose who you would have to go and see and care for. And the bombs would still, like you saw there, like the bombs outside the emergency department, the bombs would be going off all around you. I remember so many times I thought to myself, this is the end now. Like, we are dead. Like, there is no way they're bombing 50 meters away from the hospital, 20 meters away from the hospital. Everyone's a target. Children are targets, journalists, paramedics. Like, it's a slaughterhouse there. There's nobody that goes to Gaza that comes out of there and goes, yeah, no, this is not a genocide. Every single person that comes out, even when we were leaving with the UN, because you have to leave through you have to leave through a convoy. The UN convoy takes you from the UN compound. You have to go to the UN compound. You all get in cars, you wear these helmets and these things, and you leave. Do you know, I kid you not, even the UN security guys who are in constant communication with the IDF when they leave, because we get a green light, red light, even they were scared.
Yeah.
Even they were scared that we were going to get bombed.
They've shot at UN convoys. Yeah, they've shot at UN convoys as well.
Yeah. Like it's the wild, wild west. You have to, when you go there, you have to be prepared for shit like this. You have to be prepared for the fact that they will double hit, that they will literally kill in front of the whole world's eyes journalists, doctors, nurses, kids. There's no limits to this. It's utter carnage over there. And my worry is when I look at this and I look at my family and stuff like that, I'm just like, they're never going to recover from this. Like, I don't know what to tell them at the end of this. What do we do? We have lost 1 million children. Whether they survive or not, those 1 million children, they've spent 2 years out of school. They've not had any of their vaccinations. They're all malnutrition. They've all got PTSD, the highest rate of children amputees in the world, the highest rate per capita of orphaned children in the world. What future do these kids have? And this is a group of kids that had a higher literacy rate, despite the conditions, than those in Israel.
Yeah.
And now look at them.